What's up, everybody? Welcome to In This Economy podcast, episode 2. Sam, we made it to episode 2. Aren't you glad about that?
New mic, who dis?
So, thank you, everybody, for listening. We appreciate all the reviews and the listens and subscribes we got on our YouTube channel. So, definitely check us out on YouTube as well as iTunes and Spotify now and Pocket Cast and Google Podcasts as well. My name is Matt, and I'm here with Sam.
Happy to be here, Matt. Let's get this bread.
That's what it's all about. So for those who are new to the podcast, what we try to do here is try to figure out ways to unlock the keys to wealth.
One of our listeners actually described this podcast as CNBC for people who like barstool sports.
Yeah, and I think that's a good way to describe what we're doing here.
Shout out to our listeners, all 7 of you. We love you. Looking forward to growing. Tell some friends. Don't forget to rate us 5 stars. Leave a review if you can.
Exactly. So, what we want to talk about today, the first thing we're going to do is a recap of what happened last week, things that didn't work out too well, and Sam has a lot to answer for there. I'm going to talk about the things that did work out, because if you followed my bets, you would be looking very nice right now. So, we're actually then going to talk about Canopy Growth Corporation, as well. I have a new biotech stock that I want to talk about, and then Sam will finish up with some NFL picks. So, Sam, what happened last week? I think, I heard a lot of great rhetoric from you about all these wins we were going to have, can't miss bets.
Man, Kyle Shanahan with that 4th and 1 play really hurt us and all the listeners. He took our money, and we should demand it back. But it was a rough loss. The degen parlays were rough as well. I think we're going to make up for it this week. You can't win them all. And unfortunately, we started off 0 for 3. But, I got a little bonus in there for you fans out there. I'm actually going to be tweeting from our Twitter, at EconomyPod, the Thursday night games moving forward. I tweeted it today. We're on Cowboys -3. I think we're looking good so far. And later on the show, we're going to go ahead and get you guys some bets to not only make your money back, make you more money.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to make up for it. And hopefully you listen to both of us, and you made some money listening to Matt.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping. So, okay, but so the 49ers ended up losing by 3 points, right?
Yeah.
That just grinds my gears, I was concerned because the Ravens were doing so well this year, and you really thought that the 49ers are going to take it.
It got down to the wire. It was real close. It could have been anyone's game. And let's just say there was a couple blown calls, a little rough in the passer that wasn't really too rough. Some
that
bad,
was bullshit.
Yeah. Yikes. You hate that kind of language.
Oh, yeah. We'll bleep that.
But, again, we were real close to winning some of those. The Raiders really hurt us on our afternoon parlay.
Oh, yeah.
It just wasn't our week last week. But you know what? In the words of Bill Belichick, we're on to Cincinnati. I think this week we're going to hit all of our bets. We're going to make a lot of money. But, like I mentioned earlier, if you at least listen to Matt,
yeah, okay,
you made some money.
Yeah. So I'll get into it now. For anybody, this result actually just came out today, and depending on when you listen to this, look at the press releases from Aurinia is the company name. And last week I told all of you fools out there to buy. The stock was trading at like $7.50 a share, I think. And today, after hours yesterday, actually, we saw it get up almost to $20 a share. And today closed at rate $15, which is, if my math is correct, that's 100% gain, which is remarkable. I'm glad that I took the bet. I made about 4 times on my money when I originally took the position, but that's just the kind of results we can expect when we follow somebody who knows what they're doing.
Oh, yikes! So
what's going on next for this company, though, is I would not hold much longer if you are holding, because there's the odds are that they could raise some more money given their stock price is so high right now. And there is a risk, too, that they could get bought out. So the price could go even higher than this, but to lock in the gains, I would recommend selling your money now. We saw that Amarin actually increased in stock price, too. So I recommended that last time as well. It's only up $1 now, although it was toying with 23. And there's no news that came out for it, so it's just, we're just riding the wave of positivity before the FDA decision. That's going to happen at the end of the year. Now, the next company I want to talk about, the name is Acasti Pharma, and they're actually a Canadian company. They also have a fish oil formulation that is undergoing phase 3 clinical trials right now, and they have 2 readouts, one at the end of this month and one at the end of January. And I think if you buy now, the stock's only trading at $1.90. You can buy a decent amount, and I have a good feeling. I'd say it's probably like 75-25. The odds that the data is good, and you could easily see the stock double in price. So I recommend that for anybody with a little extra dry powder waiting to get in the game.
We're an omega-3 podcast now.
Yeah, I know. It's twice now I talk about this fish oil stuff, but it's huge, and getting that FDA approval is just going to expand the market big time.
Great for your brain, right?
Yeah. There's actually data that came out that said that it might have a role in ADHD in children.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go. I mean, the indications that these companies are looking for have nothing to do with that, but it's just another just
another perk of being an omega-3 pod.
Yeah, exactly. We can talk about that in more depth next time. But so that's what I have for biotech. And I think moving on, let's get into Canopy Growth. It's related to biotech, but it's a little different, I think.
Yeah. For those of you that don't know, Canopy Growth is the largest weed stock that's publicly traded.
Yeah, and the whole sector's been completely annihilated in the last year, I think. I think, at its peak, Canopy Growth was trading at 48.5 or something like that, and now it's at like 18 and change. So, it's lost 2/3 of its market cap pretty much, which is a major yikes, I would say.
Imagine losing 2/3 of your stash.
Yeah.
For all the weed smokers out there.
Yeah, you do not like to see that.
Yeah, some of that money went up in smoke.
Yeah, I think that's safe to say. And I think the trouble is that people are worried that the demand for weed just isn't there. And Canopy itself, they're doing a lot of acquisitions, which is making them take on a lot of debt, but they do have a pretty decent balance sheet right now. I think their year-over-year growth in Q3 was 228%, which is huge. But keep in mind, legalization in Canada happened in Q3 of last year. So this is like the big explosion since legalization took place. Net income only increased 13%, though. So despite all of this revenue that they have, the net income isn't actually increasing that much. And I think it's because they're doing all of these acquisitions and they're taking on a lot of debt in order to expand in the U.S. as well as Europe and things like that.
So do you think it's a long-term play with all these acquisitions? Do you think that people are going to adapt to it? Because I have some thoughts on it that we could get into just a little bit. But
so I do think that what they're trying to position themselves as is this like leader, because they're creating all of this infrastructure, acquiring all these foreign companies. So they have to put in a lot of groundwork to get all of that set up, and it is forcing them to take on a lot of debt. But I gotta say their balance sheet isn't too bad, and right now their net cash position is still $3.1 billion. So. And just to give some context, their market cap right now is around $6.5 billion. So they're trading only at 2 times what their net cash position is, which actually, it's not too bad really. A lot of companies traded a lot higher than that.
But they have lost market share. Is that correct?
Yeah. So their market cap in January of this year was $17 billion. So they took a serious haircut, and I think that's fair. That they were trading on multiple times their net cash at the time, but now the valuation is probably a little more in line with what makes sense, but really it's about the future growth potential, and I don't know if they're going to get there, but it seems like a lot of it does depend also on things like American weed legalization and how Europe is going to treat it as well.
So I kind of expected this stock to do better than it did. I actually bought it multiple times. I bought it when it was kind of low, and then I got it more on the high side when it was in the 30s. And I'm a little disappointed with how it's performed, obviously. One of the main reasons that 280% or some increase? Yeah. 228. So roughly 2.5 times increase. That's not that impressive when you consider an entire country legalize marijuana. And I have some thoughts on why. I kind of expected to be much more. I don't think that weed is completely accepted yet as socially normal.
Culturally, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, in the last 5 years, it's taken huge steps. But you can go up to your boss or your coworker and say, hey, let's go get a beer. I don't think we're at the point right now yet where you can come up to your coworker and be like, hey, let's go smoke a joint after work.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to take a lot longer than we'd like for that to happen. I think maybe 10 years, 15 years, so we get that taboo out of the way.
Yeah.
I do think this is a good long-term play since they are the clear leader, and that's how they kind of want to stick it that way. I don't want to call this Amazon of weed.
Yeah, well.
But it's kind of like Amazon of weed. They're the clear leader in the space, and it looks like with all their acquisitions, they want to stay that way. And so as long as society kind of catches up with weed and it becomes kind of just a normal thing to do, just like going and get a beer, I think you're in a good position long term.
Yeah, and I think, if you're expecting the stock to fall a lot more, I don't think, I think if we look at the net cash position as kind of the low ball area of where the stock could go, because they did lose last year $670 million despite all of that revenue gain. So it is like a concern long term if they keep making these acquisitions without the respective revenue growth. But yeah, I think this is an appropriate sort of place to scale in a position if you wanted to long term. But I agree with you, socially and culturally, it's just going to take time. But the whole sector has taken a big hit. They're not the only one, obviously. I was holding Kronos for a while, but I since sold that since it sold off so much. But it's tough out there.
Yeah. Do you think that if America legalizes marijuana, it would get a huge kind of push?
Oh yeah, it'd be insane. Yeah.
Me too.
But politically, I don't think it holds any water yet.
I think there's a chance. We'll see. 2020.
Oh, yeah. I mean, let's see who gets in office. Right?
Yeah, let's see who gets in office. But the one extra note I want to put on this is even like right now, we're in California, like we said, and marijuana is legal here. And although it's legal, it's really not convenient to get it. Like, it's still... and I compare this strictly to cigarettes and alcohol, I think, would be the two items that I compare this to. Man, you could walk to any corner of any street and you could buy cigarettes and alcohol, at least in California. And with marijuana, you have to seek out these dispensaries. Certain neighborhoods don't have them, and it kind of turns into a chore. And so it's going to... For people who smoke a lot, sure, not a problem. But for someone who's interested in getting it, it's a lot of hurdles.
Yeah, it's a real barrier. And even in Ontario and Canada, they would only ship it to you. You couldn't go to a storefront. Some people were like weird about that, just having their public information out there. But the regulatory hurdles that this company has to go through is no joke, and I think that's definitely hindering the growth potential that's out there. But like you said, long term, that's the thing. If you're willing to be patient, I think it would probably deliver if you like scale in slowly into a position. But
let's get some lobbying going.
Yeah, and that would help too. It would absolutely help. I don't know who we pay for that.
Yeah, we'll find out. We'll report back to you guys.
Yeah, right. But that's our take on Canopy, on weed, I think, in general. So I don't have a position right now in any of the companies, though. Do you?
I do. I'm in Canopy. I believe in it long term. Like I said, I think it's kind of like the Amazon of weed. I think it's a long term play, and I love that weed.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's shift gears, though. I feel like we really need to redeem ourselves from last week, Sam.
So
do you have anything for us? Is anybody going to trust you?
I certainly hope so. I want a chance to earn your business back. Before I get into my picks, I have a special segment of the show that I want to dedicate to my wife.
Oh.
This is hopefully going to be a recurring segment. But this is going to be our nemesis of the week.
Nice.
So this actually, Matt was here for when I discovered my nemesis of the week. So at halftime of the 49ers-Ravens game, we went to a sandwich place here in San Diego. just to pick up. We ordered ahead of time, and we were just trying to go there at halftime and go on our way and enjoy a nice, delicious salami sandwich while watching the Niners hopefully win.
And this place is the best bread in town, probably.
Yeah, it's good. For all you baguette lovers out there, this is your spot. So Matt and I get there, and there's a phone-in pickup order, and there's just this old, tall behemoth of a man.
He may have been, like, autistic.
Yikes. Maybe. And, there's a chance that he didn't get enough omega-3s growing up. But this guy is holding up the line. These are call-ahead orders. And then, to paint you guys an even bigger picture, I'm wearing a Jimmy Garoppolo jersey, who is the...
What a quarterback.
Yeah, what a guy.
Great quarterback.
Yeah, great quarterback. What a looker. So I'm wearing a Jimmy Garoppolo jersey, clearly showing that I am part of the Niner Nation. And as I walk up, first thing he says, I don't like the 49ers.
Yeah.
What a clown. Who is this guy? Here I am buying a sandwich. I'm waiting in line for no reason because I called ahead.
Right.
And this guy has the audacity to tell me that he does not like the 49ers.
Right to your face.
Right to my face.
As he's handing you food.
Yeah. Let's just say it left a bad taste in my mouth that only a delicious salami sandwich was able to help.
We should have known that may have been a bad sign about the 49ers.
Yeah, I think that guy was the kiss of death for all of us. So he is my nemesis of the week. Big, tall sandwich man. We don't like you.
No, yeah. If you're listening to this, my guy, you better get another job.
Yeah.
Because we're going back there, and if we see your face, there's going to be problems.
Your days are numbered.
Yeah.
So now we'll go into what most of you guys are probably listening for.
Yeah.
And that is my can't miss bet of the week.
Yeah.
Let's go.
We did it.
It is redemption time, guys. It is redemption time. This week, boy, do I have a good one for you. My can't miss bet of the week is the Colts that are plus 140 versus the Bucks. I like the Colts a lot. They're a sneaky good team. Jacoby Brissett is turned out to be a really good quarterback. Studied under Tom Brady and then studied under Andrew Luck. So
how terrible is Tom Brady right now, though?
Well, Tom Brady.
That game was embarrassing.
Yeah, it was. Last Sunday night's game was embarrassing, but it's classic Patriots to make everyone think that they're terrible and done, and then they end up winning a Super Bowl.
Right,
So I'm not going to count them out just yet. But Jacoby Brissett and the Colts are a really good team. They have a solid defense. The Bucks, although exciting to watch and have been kind of trending up lately, Jameis throws a lot of picks. Jameis Winston, the Bucks quarterback, is pretty much guarantee he's gonna throw 2 interceptions minimum this week. So I like the Colts. I think they're smart. They're really well coached, and I'm shocked that the Colts were underdogs here. So I think it's a little Vegas mishap. So can't miss bet of the week. Colts plus 140 versus the Bucks. Do it. Trust me.
Yeah. You're talking me into it, even though I still don't trust you.
You got to do it, Maddie. You're going to thank me later. Then I got my morning degenerate parlay.
Here we go.
I got Ravens money line versus the Bills. Packers money line versus the Redskins. That needs no introduction.
God, the Redskins.
Yeah.
What a bad team.
The Redskins might be your nemesis of the week.
They're hilariously bad. It's like, can a team... Every time I think that they're they're bad, then it's like, oh no, they're this much worse than I thought.
It's a clown team for clown fans.
Yeah. I mean, we don't want to talk too personally about some people we know, but let's just say the team and their fans, they really go together.
Then, adding to that money line, I got Texans money line versus the Broncos. I had to throw my Niners in there. I got the Niners plus 2.5 versus the Saints. All these teams are favorites except for the Niners. So 100 wins you 250. So it's a 2.5 to 1 odds. Again, that's Ravens money line versus the Bills. The Bills are sneaky good, but we saw what the Ravens are capable of. If they could beat the Niners, they could beat the Bills. The Packers are going to destroy the Redskins. The Texans are really good. We saw them beat the Patriots last week. The Broncos are trash with no quarterback, so I'd say these are pretty safe. Niners plus 2.5. I guess you could leave that off of your parlay if you're feeling a little skittish. I think the Niners got it. They barely lost to the Ravens.
Yeah, Saints are a good team.
Saints are a good team, but they're not.
They're not the Ravens. Right?
They're not the Ravens. Drew Brees is a great quarterback, but he's a pocket passer. And the Niners have had real trouble with guys who are mobile, like Lamar Jackson. Drew Brees, he's probably going to get sacked quite a bit.
How many times?
I'd say, if I'm going over-under, I'd put it at 4.5.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say like 14 or something.
No, that's a ridiculous number. I'd say he's probably going to get sacked 4 to 5 times. So anyways, this parlay would get you 100, wins you 250. And then, man, my afternoon parlay is a juicy one. It was so good that I had to take it when I was writing this down. I couldn't help myself. I'm ready to win some money. Chiefs money line versus the Patriots. I think the Patriots are not out of it yet. I think we're all panicking. They're like 10-3. They're still doing great. But the Chiefs are looking good. Mahomes is back in his groove. He's easily one of the top 3 most exciting quarterbacks in the league. He's must-watch TV. I don't think the Patriots will score enough to keep up with the Chiefs, and that's why I think the Chiefs got this money line. Then we got the Steelers money line versus Arizona.
It's a bad game.
It's not going to be a good game. But here's some fun stuff about the Steelers, and you've kind of seen it recently. Is they just find ways to win. They are well coached. They have a sneaky good defense. I don't even think it's sneaky anymore. They just have a good defense. Arizona, I think at this point they're kind of mailing it in. Like, they're playing hard, but they know they're going to lose. They know they have no shot at the playoffs. So I think they're playing for that draft pick, and I think the Steelers are playing to make the playoffs.
Right.
Where it stands right now, they're actually in the playoffs. So with the Browns just at their heels. So I think that Steelers money line, and then I got Titans money line versus the Raiders. Man, I hate the Raiders. I hate the goddamn Raiders.
Another bad team.
Man, a terrible team. John Gruden is the most overrated coach of all time. If you follow us on Twitter, that's at EconomyPod. You could see the ridiculous picture we've got of him during the game.
Great facial expression.
Man, he was so disappointing with this trash team. Derek Carr is not good, like I thought he was. And the Titans have been sneaky good ever since Ryan Tannehill took over for Mariota. They got a good defense. I just think that the Titans are going to win. So this one, you want to talk juicy? 100 wins you $579.
That's pretty crazy. I'm surprised at that.
Yeah, me too. This is a steal. You're welcome. 5.7x return on your investment in one day. In this economy?
Yeah, right.
No one is doing that.
Yeah.
So I highly recommend. If you don't trust my morning parlay, I don't blame you. You could go ahead and bypass that if you want. I would definitely go for my can't miss bet of the week, and I would go for this afternoon parlay. These are guaranteed winners.
If we win all of these, that's like, I think all will be forgiven.
Yeah, I think even if we go 2 for 3 on these, all will be more than forgiven. And then for those of you following on Twitter, you should have been listening, or looking for rather, that Thursday night bet or the Cowboys. That's probably going to hit too. So go ahead and keep an eye out on that. Every Thursday I will release that Thursday bet, because the pod is normally going to come out on Saturdays. So to make sure that you're making the most return on your investment for betting, make sure you follow us at EconomyPod.
Yeah, and also send us an email at inthiseconomypod@gmail.com for anybody who wants to send us any Any like tidbits, any comments, questions, maybe a congratulations on the win, Matt. That'd be good. Or if you have something mean to say to Sam about his brutal picks last week, that would also be entertaining.
Yeah, any topics you guys want us to hit, any stocks you guys want us to look into, again, any insider trading information you guys can give us. But please subscribe, give us 5 stars, leave us a review if it's good. You could leave us a review if it's bad, as long as it's 5 stars.
Bingo.
Yeah, if you guys want to do less than 5 stars, go ahead and email us instead. Please tell a friend about the pod and keep listening.
Yeah, I think that's good. And, this was the second episode of In This Economy. My name is Matt, and Sam's the co-host here, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.